Sometimes I have to mention that I just hate YouTube. The system here is completely broken. You, a subscriber, does not necessarily just ever see my video pop up again. When you click on one of mine, you'll get my next few videos for a while, and then if you forget or see other videos or whatever it is, you won't see them up on your home feed, which increasingly has less videos up there because they're prioritize those shorts so they can become a TikTok aggregator. They do that because they don't want to pay creators. So it's a lot less money for the shorts that people get when they do things on this than they do for the long form content. That's why they do that. And so that little trying to axe out creators has been going on for a long, long time. Then you have the political dynamic where YouTube really doesn't like the message here. We are, of course, fighting the culture war on behalf of conservatism, on behalf of Christians, in the science fiction space here, which makes me unique to anybody else because pretty much nobody in sci-fi does that except for myself. It didn't used to be like that. Sci-fi was an inherently conservative and Christian genre back in the golden age, but that's a story for another time. Now, that sort of anti-political bent, plus people reporting my channel and flagging it because they get all mad and butthurt because, I tell the truth about Star Trek. That is something that we have to deal with all the time. So the channel comes under attack, and this one is a weird one. And I got a video taken down. I've been trying to promote my Valiant Frontiers series, which is my alternative to Star Trek. I am a sci-fi author, very good at what I've been doing. I do this full time and have for a long, long time. I think I've got like 30-something books under my name. And something I've always wanted to do was do a space exploration adventure, going out into space, having a captain of a ship, rescue the locals from whatever problem it is. It is something that I enjoy because I miss that. I miss the episodic nature of what we used to have going planet to planet and actually having those heroic adventures. And they just don't make the characters like that anymore. They don't make the scenarios like that anymore. They don't care about science and science fiction anymore. All of it's just been a nightmare under Kurtzman, as you guys know. That's why you're here. And so I've been promoting this pretty heavily, and I was going to do a little comparison and actually talk about what things are. I did so. And YouTube flagged this for copyright infringement. Yes, I was talking about my own book, and that is a copyright infringement. This is freaking crazy, and I don't know what's going on. I don't know if Paramount, is a part of this because they don't like what we're doing here. But obviously, there's no copyright violations. This is my own sci-fi universe. I'm going to explain it and show you exactly what YouTube's doing in just a moment because it's crazy, and tell you some ways you can follow away from this platform because, I just don't trust it, and I wish I could just deliver content, talk about Star Trek, talk about science fiction, Stargate, everything I love, and not have to deal with algorithm crap, but it is what it is. The algorithm's a mess, and this makes it worse because they might yank monetization or yank the channel at any given moment. So this is all we got for now. So one, grab this, guys. It starts here, The Soul Catcher Valiant Frontiers. Book 2 is actually coming out this week. I have a full trilogy done. I finished it last year. I crowdfunded it. I delivered it out to backers. Now I'm putting it up on Amazon for you guys, and I hope you'll really enjoy it. This is written for you, and it's written for people like myself, and so that's how I know it's really entertaining. Now, I got a couple 1-star reviews. People went on there and said, "Oh, this is AI written to try to get me." It's not AI written. It's bullshit, and they just put that on there just to, of course, attack me. And so that's what they do. These haters, and they try to report me, get me removed from the platform. You see how it is all the time. It's an uphill battle being a science fiction author in these spaces. So this is where it's at. The Soul Catcher is really great. You can start here. I also have another starting point in the universe if you want to check things out. I'll explain to you how this all goes along. But this is where YouTube goes away. And then this is the put this in the description below, of course. So YouTube sent me this notice yesterday. Your video, "Have you read my new sci-fi book, The Soul Catcher, yet?" has been removed from YouTube for a terms of service violation. It contains a copy of content from a video that was previously removed to YouTube due to a copyright takedown notice we received. So this is pretty interesting. And this is, again, I don't know if Paramount's attacking me here or who it is. A copyright notice they received talking about my book, and it's just a talk about my book. You can talk about any books you want. You can talk about fan fiction. You can talk about fan movies like Axanar, like I did yesterday. That is commentary. There's no copyright issues there. So if somebody copyright claimed a talk about my book, they're doing it just to screw with me. That's why I'm wondering if Paramount doesn't want this book catching on, doesn't want people to know about it, and of course, they're upset with my channel as it is. We really humiliated them earlier this year. Robert Picardo, if you don't know, was going at me on Twitter, and he was going crazy. And eventually he did like if you think you could do it so much better, why don't you write one? So I wrote Starfleet Academy, and I put that up there. And that sold thousands and thousands of copies. It went crazy. It's got a huge 4.6 star rating on Amazon. Everybody loved it. They did not love Starfleet Academy. I did. I humiliated them as a science fiction author, and you know that's got them mad there. I don't know that it's them who's doing any sort of copyright notices or anything like that, but that's what it seems like here. So I don't know what a content from a video that was previously removed from YouTube is, because there's never been a video removed from YouTube on this channel. So that's very weird that that's the case. But that was it. Like I said, I was just talking about my book. I don't put music on anything. I don't play clips of anything. You've seen this channel. I just talk because I am a sci-fi writer. I'm not going to be a video editor and do all the fancy things that Critical Drinker does in his stuff. I want to write books, and I want to just say my point and then go back to writing my books. That's the whole point here. That's why I don't live stream. That is the points to be an author here, and I'm glad I have a great community who is into that. So that's it. This is not a copyright community strike. It does not affect your channel status yet, right? And so this is a first step sort of thing. Please ensure you have the rights to any video on YouTube. Again, I'm talking about my book. It's my book. I wrote it. Even if I read my entire book, I have the rights to that, and nobody else has the rights to that. So this doesn't make any sense whatsoever. Like I said, somebody went around and clearly was reporting things, and so that's where we're at today. So I made a beautiful sci-fi universe, and I definitely was inspired by Star Trek. It did not start here, and you guys, a lot of you have read this and told me that you really enjoyed it. My sci-fi universe actually starts here with a book called The Stars Entwined. As you can see, this one's got high ratings, 231 ratings. It's sold thousands and thousands of copies as well. A good rule of thumb for my books is about 2% of people actually leave ratings and reviews, which I urge you guys to do so, because, again, when I get bombed and I only have 18 because a new book's out or whatnot, it really lowers that rating for a while. It's pretty tough to come back from that for a bit, and so I urge people to do so. But as you can see, so this is sold, around 20,000 books total, 30,000 books total. I can't remember at this point. But they accumulate over time, and it's beautiful, and I really love it. Now, my onus of this, I was in high school. I was a big Star Trek fan, and I was role-playing some stuff in Star Trek where I was doing the thing like where, you're a Starfleet officer and you modify yourself to be a Romulan and do something on the Romulan ship, right? Classic Star Trek episode trope, goes all the way back to the Enterprise incident when Kirk and Spock, went over there. It was awesome. And of course, then they did it with Picard on Romulus, with Troy getting kidnapped and turned into a Romulan for a bit. Great stuff. Absolutely love it. And actually, I forgot Trials and Tribulations did that on the Klingon end, which is a cool episode too. One of my favorite tropes right there, spying on an alien starship and doing that. So I thought about it, and I realized really quickly that it breaks down pretty quick. My first draft of this, very similar to a TV episode of that. And it's like, well, just because you put some ears on somebody doesn't make them an alien. What happens if they're on the alien ship and they bleed or something? Wouldn't they notice that it's pretty risky to do just that? Next, you have to learn to speak the alien language. You have to do all these things. And so I changed the science of it and actually made it a little more science fiction built off of that. And there's some cool physiological things with my alien creatures, the Oricians, which then escalates the whole situation in a big way. And that's where that whole situation came out. It's called the Orician War because humanity's at war with the Oricians. And that war wraps up over the trilogy, right? And so that was the basis of that. Now, like I said, I always wanted to do a space exploration thing, and I wasn't sure where I would fit that into my universe at all. Once the trilogy was done, my main character, I wasn't going to do the thing on Star Trek where it was they're always, they're the spy and the captain and the security officer. It's like they can do everything. I wanted my spy guy just to be the spy guy and just end up in the situation he was at. So it's I have to do a different character and different crew. How am I going to do this? And so I took actually around, even though I come out with books pretty fast, I probably took 3, 4, maybe 5 years to develop what became Valiant Frontiers. The first thing I did actually was develop a starship. I built, I listed out all my decks and what was on each deck, so it would make sense in the context of my universe. Then I started building out a cast and crew, and I came out with this character here, who his father actually is one of the heroes of the Orician War. He's an admiral, and he just recently got promoted to captain. People are wondering if he's got the chops or if it's just nepotism or whatever, so he realized to live up to a big legacy. And I thought that was a cool concept right there. It's a mixed team with the Oricians after the war ends up. I won't spoil too much about it, and I have some cool characters. I actually brought back a few side characters from the Stars Entwined, etc., who, if you are a fan of my series, you might remember them because they were in the background there, and now they're in the forefront as main characters here. So it's like, this is a big payoff for a big universe building thing that is really, really well done. And that's what Star Trek is. There's lots of payoffs with like a big universe, right? And so a part of the problem of Next Generation and like is they don't come back to that. And that's kind of what Deep Space Nine fixed. They come back to things. The big universe actually feels like a cohesive universe all the time. And they don't forget things like, oh, we can't travel past warp 5 anymore. Well, we said that in an episode, but ignore that. You can't get away with that in books. And so you have to really build out that universe very, very well. And so I feel like I improved upon the concepts of Star Trek, improved upon things with what I have drawn on in my science fiction career in general, and built a wonderful universe for everybody here that can enjoy this. Now, it's got that element where it's like, it's got that adventure hook that we are used to, and that's exactly the deal. So that's what I tried to do, and this is all I did. I'm recording the same video I did. Let's hope YouTube doesn't pull this one down because it's freaking crazy. I really want this to go because I do have, like I said, 2 more books coming out this summer, and I want you guys on board with it and building now. So I don't know if I'll ever find you on YouTube again. I don't know if YouTube's going to remove my channel, if they're going to demonetize me. I worry about that every day just because I'm too based. I'm far too based for this platform. I know I am. So there's a few things you can do in the meantime while you're reading the book here, guys. One, I always tell you guys to sign up for my newsletter because then I can email you when the books are coming out and the like, and that's what I try to do here. I've done some deep dive analyses of my characters and the like, and that's what I'm trying to do is push more talk about the characters, the world building, etc., so that we can actually have science fiction. You get 3 books just for signing up. It's a great deal. Sign up here, stay in touch. I love it when people email me too. I email back as much as I possibly can. If I forgot, ping me again and tell me I forgot, and I'll say I'm sorry. So I try to be nice to everybody as the best I can. I'm pretty busy because I do a lot of things. I do YouTube. I do my writing, obviously. I have a family. I also run Fandom Pulse here. There's another spot to be. It's my Substack. Every day, I curate a ton of different stories here. I'm talking about DC Animation, James Blish. He's a Star Trek author today. C. Lady Rose Gooding. I'll do a video on that tomorrow. Some other publishing, more science fiction. I did a review of Silo Season 3's opener. You've got a lot of stuff here. Fandompulse.com. Bookmark this. Visit it every day. There's an email function too, so you don't even have to worry about it because I send out a briefing of all the stories that came out too. I put full-time energy into this. Like it's really a lot of work. So thank you guys for checking that out. So we got the books, we got that, we got the newsletter. I'm also on X. Of course, obviously that's where I'm posting this announcement here. I've said YouTube is broken. A video about me talking about my own book, saying it's a copy of content removed to copyright. What is happening here? And we talk about a lot of stuff. I have a pretty based meme. You might enjoy this. Is this too mean? Let me know if that's too mean in the comments. I try to be funny. And if you've seen me here, some people take me very seriously on X. And here's another good Star Trek related meme. Don't mind me. I'm just here to euthanize Tuvix. Oh gosh, too soon. All right, so that's a lot of spots to follow. We have a Discord community as well, and that's it. We want to build the community and build it together, so we're not in an ecosystem where I'm just talking to you on a screen that might get yanked by some soulless corporation at some point. And there's a real risk of that, as you can see. I had my other channel, my main channel, hit a couple months ago for something similar. I used to live stream back 4 or 5 years ago, and there was a heel versus babyface clip, if you ever watch his channel, where he was talking about the game Starfield, and he did this rant, effing pronouns, and I played a little clip from that, and somebody else, not him, actually filed copyright on it and struck my channel over there, like for a live stream 4 years ago. And YouTube found that live stream 4 years ago. I didn't think it was a problem. Obviously, Az never said anything about it being a problem, and it is fair use to actually play content off of YouTube on YouTube, believe it or not. It's a weird system. But YouTube wouldn't remove it, and it was there, and it hit my channel for a long, long time. These things hit the algorithm, etc. And I always talk about, now that Strange New Worlds is off, or Strange New Worlds, Starfleet Academy is off the air, the algorithm's gone like this anyway. It's just a disaster of an ecosystem, and that's why we need to develop other things. So thanks for being here, guys. I really hope you'll join the community. We're building awesome stuff here. I hope that my world speaks to you. And check out the Stars Entwined. Check out Valiant Frontiers. This is where it's at. This is where the future holds. And I want to make TV and movies eventually. I mean, it's once AI gets there, I will be utilizing that to do that, because obviously Hollywood's not going to come and do that, and we'll just outcompete Star Trek because we'll do it better, is what it comes down to. So those guys will never give anybody who's not a rabid leftist a chance at this point, and so we have to do it ourselves. That's what it comes down to. Thanks for being here, guys, and thanks for listening to this, and nothing you can do, just YouTube being YouTube. That's all. We'll be back soon.